Welcome back to the Voices of Women Summit, where in honor of International Women's Day 2025, we are raising the voices of hundreds of women so their messages can be heard. Your host for this session is Danielle Benson. Danielle is the founder of the Inspired Speaker Academy. Hailing from Vancouver, BC, she's a self-described huge theater geek. She's got another amazing guest coming right up. Take it away, Danielle.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. Welcome everyone to the Voices of Women Summit 2025. My amazing guest right now is Helle Brodie, and she is going to share with us the freedom formula for entrepreneurs. And I love those are magic words to my ears, so I can't wait to hear all about it. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Daniela.
I'm so glad that you're here. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of the formula, tell us a little bit about how you got to acquire this knowledge and this passion, and what brought you to be sharing it with us today.
Yeah, well, thank you. So as entrepreneurs, when we start our businesses, we have these dreams, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're no more boss, no more long hours working for somebody else, lots of money, and the freedom to live life to the fullest. And that was my dream. Like so many other entrepreneurs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the faces you were making. So I know you've been there, done that. So I started my first business 37 years ago when my son was born. And when I started, I didn't want to do the 2-hour commute to the office every day anymore. I was about to have a little baby, right? And I knew that when I started my business, I would have the time and the money and the freedom to raise him the way I wanted. So I hung out my shingle and I started my first business 37 years ago. A little over that now. Anyway, and so I built a landscape architectural practice. It was super successful. I absolutely loved it. It kept me on the go all the time, and I just thrived on that adrenaline rush of being busy. But before I knew it, I was working 70 to 80 hours a week. And on top of that, I was a single mom by that time, and my kids were into competitive sports, so I was driving them all over the place, and my own mother was terminally ill. It got to the point where I was stressed and exhausted all the time, just living off of adrenaline. And I mean, it was unbearable. Like, I didn't know how I was getting through the days. It was just, I really was just living off the adrenaline. I didn't have time to spend with my friends or my family, the people that really meant the most, and in fact, my friends were drifting away because I was so busy and I didn't even notice it. And one day I walked into Starbucks and I looked at the barista, and I thought, she has way, way more fun in her life than I do. I wasn't spending time with my kids. My friends were drifting away and I was starting to feel alone. And even my hobbies were starting to feel more like obligations. Well, when my mom passed, I knew things had to change. And so I had two choices. I could give up my business, which was very tempting, or I could figure it out. So I went on a mission to figure it out, which is why I'm here today. So I took business course after business course, personal development, through the roof, read countless books, and I even gained a couple of coaching designations to get this figured out. I was pretty determined. So when I figured it out, so here's what I found out. If I wanted to go from stress and busyness and overwhelm, feeling tied to my business, to having my evenings and weekends free, earning the money that I knew I deserved, and really enjoying every part of my life, I had to do three things. I had to make better choices. I had to improve performance, and I had to work on me. And so it had such a huge impact on my life. I knew I needed to share it with other entrepreneurs who were struggling the same way I was. And so I've called it the CPU system: choice, performance, and you.
I love that. I love me a good, acronyms. That's right. Yeah, I love that. That's great. So you're going to be sharing with us, I'm assuming, those how you came to really develop those three tips, because I think, I don't know about anyone else listening on the call, but I'm just getting more and more jealous listening to you. I'm like, oh yes, I want that. That sounds amazing. I want her life. Uh, as I think so many of us, we get into running our own businesses because we love what we do, but then it consumes us, and then it takes some of the love away as well.
It
So
does.
finding that freedom, I'm so excited about this. So can you share those three tips with us?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's three parts of my process. It's it's
Yeah,
it's how
right.
how I help people, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the first part is choice, right?
Mm,
So let me tell you a story about Sarah. When Sarah started her business, she was like many of us. She wanted freedom, fulfillment, and financial success. She was
mm-hmm.
really driven and she was really passionate, as I'm sure you were when you started your business, and I was as well. Um, Sarah was willing to do absolutely anything to make it work, to succeed. So she was really, really excited when she got her first few clients, and she started working, and before she knew it, there were more opportunities that came in and her business was growing, right? And then more opportunities came out and she jumped at everything, just like every good entrepreneur. I mean, there's an opportunity, we got to jump at it, right?
Yeah.
Then a colleague suggested a partnership. So she thought, yeah, I'll do that. Then the bright, shiny strategies came up and she tried them all, right? Sarah was super busy. Her business was growing. She was thrilled. Sure, she was doing some things she never expected to, but that was okay because she was growing, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so, I mean, she just kept adding more and more and more and more. And we've all done that, right? So fast forward a couple of years to when I met Sarah, and she was super busy. Everything looked great on paper. The income, the profit, the clients, everything looked great. And she was exhausted. She was working long
Mm.
hours, doing things that she didn't even necessarily enjoy. And she was super busy all the time, but she wasn't feeling fulfilled. And if you remember, fulfillment was one of the things she was looking for, right?
Yeah.
And so she realized, well, we had a discussion and she realized she wasn't necessarily making the best choices. And choice is the C in CPU, right? Sarah was making choices that felt safe, right? Take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way, grab everything, just grab everything because that's safe, right? She wasn't necessarily doing what was right. So we had to look at what she was doing. And I mean, this is where most entrepreneurs get stuck. They keep doing all the things that they've been doing that have gotten them to the point that they're at without really looking at what works, because that feels safe, even though you're stressed and exhausted and almost burned out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Sarah realized something, I mean, she realized that if she didn't start making different choices, nothing was going to change. See, it's easy to keep doing what you're doing. It's much
Mm-hmm.
harder to sit back, reflect, reset, and make choices for what really matters, right? To
Mm-hmm.
start looking at what's fulfilling, what brings you the best return on investment, and like what's really working in your business, and get rid of the rest. It's not an easy
Mm-hmm.
thing to do. Sarah managed to turn around her business. She loves what she's doing now, right? And it's a hard thing to do. It's really hard for entrepreneurs to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, because before the choice, you've got to evaluate, and I think that's part of making the choice. And I think that's where we get scared because, like you said, I love what you said. For a lot of us, it's so normal to feel overwhelmed and stressed that we feel safe. It
Yeah.
feels safe to feel overwhelmed and stressed. And it feels a little bit scary to be like, well, I'll do less, you know?
Yes.
So I love that, just those intentional choices. Oh,
Well, and much of the time that doesn't actually happen until we're in that state of total overwhelm,
mm,
exhaustion, not having a lot of fun anymore. And
hmm
as Kimberly says, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing.
yes. Best quote ever.
Oh, it
Absolutely.
is.
Stuff is not
It
worth
is.
doing. So that's choice. And the next one is
Performance.
performance.
Yeah.
Tell us about performance.
Well, performance is all about building your business and scaling it. When you stay a solopreneur, you're doing everything.
Mm,
So the key to your freedom really is to scale, right?
mhm.
And that all starts with systems and processes. And I can see, your face is already dropped. She's going, oh man,
Ooh,
this is
ooh.
gonna be boring. Well, here's the thing.
No, not boring, just scary.
It's not the fun stuff that we got into business for. And it's the lifeline of our business, right? Because when we don't have systems and processes in place, we create the ideal environment for stress and overwhelm. All those things that are already holding us hostage, right?
Mm.
And so we already run most of our lives on processes, simple things like brushing your teeth. Do you brush your teeth the same way every day? Or do you start at the
Uh,
top?
I don't know.
Do you start at the top right one day, the bottom left the next day?
I think we do it the same every day. I think I do.
I think so. Most of
Yeah.
us dream of doing it differently every day because you'd start brushing and you'd go, where was I? Did I start here? Did I start here? Did I
Yeah.
start? Am I finished? Did
Don't
I
even
miss
think about it.
something? Have I done
Automatic.
it wrong? Right? So that's what processes are about, making your business and brushing your teeth a lot easier so you can get into a state of flow, right? Think about the confusion that goes on in your mind. Simple thing like brushing your teeth, my goodness, right? So they're about making business easier so that you get into that state of flow. And some of those things start to happen naturally and automatically, right? So the end result is that you start being able to do more of what you want to do, what you love to do, right? Yeah. You free up your mind for the important stuff, the fun stuff, the things that we got into business for, not figuring it out every time. Oh my God, I can't figure it out. Um, and it increases, so it frees up your time. So there's time freedom, and it has the potential to increase your revenue and your profits because you're also getting rid of some of that stress and overwhelm, right? When we don't have systems and processes in place, we create the ideal environment for all those things that are already holding us hostage, right? The stress and the overwhelm. So think of processes as a framework for freedom, a framework for building your team, because now you have like your ideal team, because now you have a whole blueprint for how everything needs to be done. Now you know what needs to be done and you can delegate it. So you can figure out who you need to hire, who's the best person to hire, who do you need? You wouldn't hire like a plumber to plant the flowers in your garden, right? You'd hire a gardener. And so why would you hire like a technician if you need help with some of the creative work, right? And what kind of a person do you need? Do you need someone who's happy and bubbly for maybe some customer support? Or do you need somebody who's really good at tech to run the back office, all that tech stuff that a lot of entrepreneurs aren't necessarily good at? I'll put my hand up
Yep.
there. Anyway, so I mean, and who do you want in your business? Because your business is only as good as your people, right?
Mm.
Yeah. And I mean, performance is also about, so I mean, once you start building your team, you have the ability to grow and scale, right? Because you already know what's working. You already threw the spaghetti at the wall to see what would stick. You already know what's working. So you're already moving in the right direction, right? And the last part of performance is making, finding the people who can support you on your journey, who have the knowledge, the experience, the resources to help you get to where you want to be. And as entrepreneurs, we're very we're self-sufficient, right?
Hmm.
Stubborn.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Give us enough time and resources, and we can figure out anything. So hesitant to ask for help. And so we create a very lonely place for ourselves at the top. And it doesn't have to be that way. Building and getting support brings the fun back into your business.
And then you have people to have fun with as well, right? You're not just doing it all
Exactly.
by yourself and being lonely.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, once you're hiring people, you don't necessarily go to your team to ask them for their input on some of the major business decisions. You want somebody who's been there before, right? Someone you can laugh with and cry with, because we all have those moments, right?
Oh yeah.
So you gotta have the right coach in place.
Yeah, support from all angles, like
Yeah,
for delegating, but also for absorbing that wisdom from someone who's been there already. So we've covered choices and we've covered performance. Tell us about that last element of your framework that brings everything together.
that's you, because you are the most valuable resource of your business.
Hmm.
If there's anything I've learned from being in business for over 37 years, it's that the business can only grow as much as the owner. So if I flip that around, I'll say it another way. When the owner stops growing, so does the business. So imagine a high wire tightrope strung between two buildings, say 20 feet up in the air. And you got to walk on that tightrope, and it's pretty terrifying. Now imagine if you had a safety net under you. Suddenly it's not so terrifying, right? Certainly for me.
Yeah.
So when you operate from a mindset of scarcity, every decision feels like life or death. Every problem feels like a disaster, and every like everything is just magnified. When you develop a mindset of resilience, resourcefulness, and success, you develop that safety net. And here's the thing, that's something that nobody can ever take away from you. Not a change in the politics, not economic changes, not your competitors. That's yours to keep forever, right? And that's all about you, about your personal development. And as your business grows, you need a bigger safety net, right? So you start your business and, maybe at first you're focusing on your craft, right? Maybe you need the right materials or you need the right information. You get your first couple of clients, maybe they're family, friends, maybe some business associates from your previous career. And, you're very focused on your craft. Then you start moving to the next stage. Well, then you have to start looking at marketing because there's only so many friends and business associates. Well, then you're focused outward as well as inward, right? And so that's a whole new skill set and a whole new mindset. That's tons of growth, right? Then you move your business grows and you're moving to the next level. Now you're hiring a team. So you're learning about hiring and leadership, how to build a team, how to keep a team, how to delegate, all of that. Again, lots of new skills, lots of new mindset, right? And so you have to constantly grow that safety net. You know, and then we look at things like stress. You know, is stress keeping you from thinking clearly? Is stress destroying your confidence? Right? And confidence is one of the key indicators of success in your business. And 67% of entrepreneurs say that lack of confidence has held them back from going for their goals. Now, the good thing is you can build your confidence, right? You can build it. And so um, um, it's all personal development, right? It all comes down to you. And so, you know, you really have to look at the number one asset in your business, and that's you, right? So build a mindset of success and resilience. Do something every day that builds your confidence, forces you to grow, and reduces your stress, right? Look after you.
Look after you, and let your support group look after you, your support network look after you. And I love that that is the thing that you take with you. No matter what happens, no matter what business you close or open or where you go in the world, those skills, that personal development skills of that mindset and that resilience, you get to take that asset with you wherever you go. I love that you said that. That's so true and so important.
It's so true.
I think for
Well,
us
here's
to
the
remember.
thing. That's what I did. You know, I had a
Yeah.
different business, totally different business. I brought those things with me, right? So I know they're mine, right?
Yeah.
You can take them.
No one can take them away from you. They're yours forever, and you can keep building on them. So for those of you who are listening, this has been an amazing talk. For those of you who are listening who want to connect to those choices and your performance and really develop you and your skills and that amazing asset that you can take with you, grab that, the free gift, the Freedom Formula for Entrepreneurs. Grab that now, and let me know if the link is working, please, because you never know. Want to make sure that it's working. Let me know if that is working, that link, because this is just really great stuff, and you don't want to lose it. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to forget about it. So click on that free gift, the Freedom Formula for Entrepreneurs. That is for everyone, but I believe you also have a VIP gift for us today.
I do. And it's called Unlocking Your Entrepreneurial Confidence. Because as I said, confidence is one of the key indicators of success in your business, right? And confidence for entrepreneurs is a little bit different than confidence for,
we are a little different, let's be honest.
It all applies. And as an entrepreneur, we need to really focus on and build our confidence. So
yeah. So if you haven't already, upgrade to VIP so you can have the recordings, you can rewatch all these great talks, because there's 13 going on at any one time, but also to get this gift, because that is just going to be so useful for you as we create some freedom. Was it freedom, fulfillment, and financial something?
yeah, so my business name is Freedom Journeys Coaching, right?
There you go.
Time freedom, financial freedom, and the internal freedom to live, to savor every part of your life.
Yes, I love it so much. So our next speaker, I didn't ask you how to pronounce your name, but we've got Olga Alexieva, I'm guessing. Pick up the brush and transform your life's canvas in 5 bold strokes. That sounds creative and fun. That sounds wonderful. So come back in 5 minutes for Olga. And before I let you go, Helle, I'd love to hear just one final nugget. You've been sharing so much wisdom and just amazing tips for us today, and concepts, not just tips, but good, deep concepts for us. One final nugget for everybody to leave them with today.
Right. So you started your business to create freedom in your life, not to be consumed by your business, right? The ability to unlock your business potential is in your own hands. So remember your CPU, right? Choice, performance, and you. And then you really can have it all.
You can have it all. I'm going to grab the VIP gift so I can have it all. You all do that as well. I will see you back here in 5 minutes for the next speaker. Thank you so much, Helle. It's been lovely.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was an amazing speaker. For replays of this talk and all the talks, plus an incredible gift bundle, upgrade to VIP now. If you have any questions or problems during the summit, you can always email our support team at support@voicesofwomensummit.com. Stay tuned. We have another fantastic speaker coming right up.